It is I, Tantus Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time to continue my discussion on the lands, legends, planes, and planeswalkers of Magic the Gathering, where I go into detail about each of these components of Magic the Gathering, help you understand a little bit more of the lore of the game and the lore of the world of Magic, giving you history and information about these so you just know a little bit more detail about these interesting characters and places within the game. So today, I have another planeswalker for you though. Jaya Ballard. She is a human planeswalker from Dominaria who awakened her spark around the age of 40. She's known to be a not-so-humble task mage, and was friends with the immortal Jodah. She also is known to have been involved in many of the events of the Ice Age itself. So little is known about Jaya's childhood, though it is known that she lived on the streets where she was a thief and learned thieving skills. Eventually, though, she tried to steal from the immortal Jodah. From Jodah, this powerful wizard. She was caught. And Jodah, though, was impressed with her abilities, and so decided to offer her the ability to study at the place where he studied, the School of the Unseen. The young Jaya took this up, studied books, learned spells. But as she grew older, she decided that once she had mastered a great number of spells, she needed to journey the world herself. And so she began her journey as a task mage. Now, these early journeys, we do know of a couple of stories. She helped out Kjolbjorn, the elder druid, to gain an amulet that would allow him to possibly summon Freyalise if they needed to, the planeswalker. We also know that she helped out a small village that was going to be overrun by the Lyrgamorph, and basically helped defeat that. Sometime after now, Jodah basically disappeared, and she began a journey to discover where he was. She finally tracked him down in Treasurehorn, where he was being drugged and controlled by lim-dul. She rescued him and brought him back to the School of the Unseen. Once there, she couldn't do much to help him. He was kind of not in the right state of mind, kind of crazed. So what she did is she basically used that amulet she'd found and summoned Freyalise. Freyalise, once there, would agree to help Jodah if she would be allowed to use Jodah's mirror and a number of components from within the School of the Unseen. Basically, Freyalise wanted to use these to help cast the World spell, the spell that would end the Ice Age. Jaya agreed on Jodah's behalf, because he wasn't in the right mind to allow this permission. So Jodah was eventually healed, though. It was after now that she helped Jodah to prepare Keljor for the invasion of lim-dul's army. She was there to help Keljor and Baldovia to create an alliance to fight against them. And during the final assault, she herself was on the front lines. She fought against lim-dul's right hand. She managed to claim victory over lim-dul's right hand, his right hand minion. And the unfortunate result of this would lead to the next storyline. She would fall under Marasil's will. Marasil was a powerful spellcaster, an ancient enemy of Jodah that he had defeated. Marasil had instilled his powers, his mind, into a ring that lim-dul had claimed as a young soldier, which led him down the dark path of the necromancy. Now it was in Jaya's possession. Though we know from her timeline at this point in time, for about the next 20 years, she was trying to help the city of Calcino prevent itself from being flooded from, of course, the result of the Ice Age ending, with a number of other mages. This didn't work. We know after this period of time that she shows up with lim-dul's emaciated corpse to Jodah. The corpse is missing its ring finger and the ring. Jodah and Jaya begin a journey to find this ring, which eventually takes them to the ruined city of Soldov. There, Jodah learns the truth. He learns that Jaya had picked up that ring and was planning on taking it to him, but along the way she donned it. And Marasil's will took over, and was still in control. Jaya slit Jodah's throat, and then used that blood to summon a number of Phyrexian war beasts to cause them to reactivate. Jodah was spared from death by random chance at this point in time, and then began a battle with the possessed Jaya in the ruins of Soldov. Jodah took his mirror and shattered it in Jaya's face. It activated a gift from Freya Lys that had been placed in there. Fire imbued out and engulfed Jaya. This awakened her planeswalker spark. With but a thought, she removed all of Marcel's influence from her mind, erased it for all eternity, that this ancient wizard would be gone now. She then planeswalked to the School of the Unseen, where, with Jodah's help, she defeated the Phyrexian war beasts. She then, of course, the two of them, sealed the bottomless pit that lim-dul had moved from Treasurehorn to this area. She then accompanied Gerda Agastoffer in moving the School of the Unseen from this location, putting it somewhere else. She left Jodah an amulet that would help ensure his long life and his longevity as long as he wanted, but to help him also keep his mind for all of his long life. For the fact is, he was basically an immortal, but his mind would deteriorate with age, and this amulet that Jaya gave him would help keep that intact. Jaya then planeswalked out into the multiverse to explore new places. Now, much later on, Jodah, seen during the time spiral time period, implies that Jaya had passed away post Ice Age, that her recklessness had gotten her killed. Though the language that he used does leave some doubt in the actual results of what happened to Jaya. The fact is that during this time period, there were alternate realities, alternate timelines colliding with Dominaria. And the wording he said could have implied that an alternate reality Jaya was the one that passed away, not the one that we know from this storyline. Regardless, we do know we have seen her influence. Chandra Nalar, a planeswalker which we see in these current storylines. She is known for quoting Jaya and studied at Keral Keep, a place of fire mages where they themselves basically teach and learn the teachings of Jaya Ballard. Now, regardless, we do actually have a little bit more history to talk about, because this is technically referred to as pre-revisionist history. It's the early history of Jaya, which does fit in with her timeline here, that about 10 years after the World Spell, she helped Kaiasa and a group basically move the Filmhorn Elves to Yavimaya, where she also then helped to purify the heart of Yavimaya, which was attempting to kill all sentient creatures within there. After which, she helped Kaiasa deliver her and Jahal's child. Whether this is still within the current storylines of Jaya is hard to say, because there was a pre-revision. There was some revisions that did occur to many of these older characters. Now, Jaya has been depicted in one card, not a Planeswalker card, her Task Mage card, and she has a number of quotes on various different cards, especially during the Ice Age. But that's it for today. I introduce you to an interesting character, a Planeswalker known as Jaya Ballard. She was a task mage during the Ice Age and was involved in many storylines of that. Eventually, though, she awakened her planeswalker spark. And unfortunately, we don't know much of her story after her spark awakened. It's during this time period that it is implied by her immortal friend that perhaps she died, that perhaps her recklessness got her killed. Whether this is true is hard to say. We know, we see an influence of her. She founded a school of task mages, of fire mages, that Chandra Nalar learned to master her fire at. So she has a legacy. Whether she's alive or not, she has that legacy. I would love to have seen what happened to her, or if she's still alive. If she's such an interesting character, and did great things from such a humble beginning. She was a thief. And just because she tried to steal from the wrong wizard, she started down a path of doing great things and proving herself great itself. A lot of times those humble brags, well, they have a little bit behind them, especially for Jaya. But if you have any questions, comments, anything you would say, anything you think I left out, please leave in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. It shows support the channel, the Empire, the work I do. If you want to show some extra support, you can always check out my Patreon, link description below. There's some great rewards there. It helps to grow and improve the channel. If you want to see some other great Magic the Gathering content, I can recommend Card Bazaar, They Said, We Said, and Tasty Snackies. My friends of the multiverse, they do great Magic the Gathering content I can always recommend. But regardless, until the next time, I bid you farewell.